Hello and welcome to my playthrough of my favorite game of all time. If there was one game I always wanted to experience in my life, it would be one where I'd play as Mega Man and Roll and have him go up against the greatest heroes and villains of all time together. I just find the idea of an adorable pairing like Mega Man and Roll fighting alongside each other to be very sweet. I love power couples in general, and Mega Man and Roll are my absolute favorite one of all time. My goal in this video is simply to complete the game with them, and with Baby Hood as well, not only because she's a great partner for the two, but also because I believe it'd be perfect to play through the game with an all-kids team. It's so funny seeing a trio of kids beat up everyone else and come out victorious. So now that I've said everything I needed to at the beginning of this video, it's finally time to get started. First things first, I will go to the options menu to show that I'm indeed playing this game on the highest difficulty, with the rest of the settings being at their default levels. Just so people don't claim that I'm lying. On the options menu, I have the difficulty of the game set to 8, the time is set to 99, its default setting, and the damage level is set to 2, its default setting. I have Roll set to a projectile type, Mega Man as an anti-air type, and BB Hood as a projectile type. Looks like I'll be up against Sakura, Colossus, and Spiral for the first stage. It's cute that Roll has Sakura as her first opponent. They're girls from separate franchises who really like the main heroes of those series, those being Mega Man and Ryu respectively. And, well, Roll and Sakura are just so precious in general. It's time for Roll, Mega Man, and BB Hood's greatest adventure to begin. So starting things off, I performed an air combo I've been using a lot for Roll, where I hit the opponent with a light punch, then immediate punch dunking, which causes the character to move towards Roll for a bit. Then I launch the opponent with her heavy kick, and when Roll and her opponent are in the air, she attacks them with her light punch, light kick, medium kick, and finally ends things off with a heavy punch. I've learned how to perform that combo myself, and it's a lot of fun to use. It did take me some time to execute the combo perfectly, as I used to mess it up a lot by having Roll slide to the opponent for a third hit instead of having her stand and use her heavy kick. But I've gotten used to the process of activating the combo over time. What I did to make the combo easy for myself to perform is to not press down right after Roll using a medium dunking punch to prevent myself from sliding instead. In the end, I'm just thankful that I can perform the combo consistently now. I love seeing Roll be awesome, so mastering that combo was a requirement. I was so close to taking down Colossus there. Now I'm using Mega Man as the primary attacker. I love that he can charge his buster while moving and then shoot just like in his own series. And the best part is that the longer he charges his buster, the more hits his shot will inflict on the opponent. It can lead to some cool combos with him. Mega Man is just a cool character in general, and so is his girlfriend. They're a power couple who know how to rock and roll. I've pretty much used those two together since not only playing this game, but also MVC1. I remember how hard that game was when I first played it, because at the time I didn't play that many fighting games. But now I can easily beat that game as them without using a continue. Roll looks so innocent whenever she does her ducking punch. She sits on her legs when she attacks the character, it's so adorable. Everything about her is adorable, it's why she's my favorite fictional character ever. I always like that BB Hood's missiles lead right into Roll's buster shots. Their attacks complement each other very well. And I'm sad to say that I've taken down Sakura. I just need to defeat two X-Men characters who are very low in health. Nice shot, Roll. It's so funny that Mega Man and Colossus hit each other at the same time like that. I always found it funny that Colossus is vulnerable to attacks while gaining super armor. I even had some matches against him where I defeated him as he was gaining his super armor. It's so funny. And Mega Man defeated Colossus with his Mega Upper. Now it's time to finish off Spiral. The first villain of this adventure is going down. That wasn't very nice what Spiral did to Roll there. Mega Man's going to make her pay for hurting his girl. I love that Mega Man's charge up shot led Spiral right into BB Hood's missile. That was cool. Like I said at the beginning, BB Hood is a great partner for both Mega Man and Roll. It's so funny that an evil kid like her is a great help to them. It's so cute seeing Mega Man and BB Hood celebrating their victory together like that. This'll sound cheesy, but I like to see BB Hood as Mega Man and Roll's best friend. There's something about the idea of the couple having an evil girl as their closest friend that's hilarious and cute to me. I'm now up against Inocarus, Silver Samurai, and M. Bison for the second stage. And this is the part where the true difficulty comes into play. Even though I'm playing this game on 8, the first stage will always have the CPUs be very easy to defeat. Stage 1 is sort of like a warm-up round that prepares the player for the real fights in the next 6 stages. This is my favorite version of the Clock Tower stage. I just love how cloudy, snowy, and icy this version looks. And Nakaris is a floaty and long-range character, but he doesn't have a high amount of health, is a little slow, and is a big target. So he was never too hard for me to beat. I did a 7-hit air combo and a Nakaris instead of the 8-hit one because some characters fall too fast to the ground for Roll to launch them in the air with their heavy kick. So I have her use a different air combo for characters like him. I've performed air combos on every character as Roll, so I know how to launch all of them as her. It's great that Nakaris is low in health, so after I defeat him, I'll still have plenty of time to defeat the other two characters. And my team took down Nakaris no problem. Now it's time to fight against Silver Samurai. He's much like Bishamon from Darkstalkers, where he's also a samurai and most of the button commands, including the kick buttons, involve using the sword. It's funny because Bishamon and Silver Samurai were both in Capcom fighting games that were released in 1994, those being the original Darkstalkers and X-Men Children of the Atom respectively. And they probably decided to put Silver Samurai in the latter game because they already made their own samurai character for their monster fighting game, and it would fill their quota of having 10 normally selectable playable characters in X-Men easier. It's so cool seeing these three use all their weapons and partners at the same time. Now it's time for these kids to find and avoid becoming mindless henchmen to the malicious crime boss M. Bison. The way Roll and Mega Man got multiple hits on M. Bison looks so funny. I like the fact that my team is fighting him for two reasons. The first is because Mega Man and Roll saw him in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 before fighting against the mechanized version of Chun-Li, Shadow Lady, who in that match was under his control. And BB Hood fought against M. Bison in the penultimate stage in SNK vs. Capcom match of the Millennium for the Neo Geo Pocket Color, so he's like a recurring villain to them. And Mega Man prevented M. Bison from turning him, Roll, and BB Hood into his soldiers. Aw, they have the same victory pose. That's so sweet. Also, M. Bison didn't do any damage to my characters during the entire match, which is funny considering that he's infamous for being a very difficult boss in Street Fighter Alpha 3. So now I'm up against Captain Commando, Magneto, and Juggernaut. Three very deadly characters. Captain Commando is one of the toughest Capcom characters in this game, and Magneto and Juggernaut are two very tough X-Men villains who are personal enemies of not only the X-Men, but also Professor X himself. The funny thing about Magneto and Juggernaut though is that they were boss characters in X-Men Children of the Atom, so naturally they would end up being very tough as regular playable characters as well. So it feels like I'm fighting against the bosses of COTA at the same time. With all that said, I'm not bothered by the fact that I'm fighting against a very tough team. I fought against brutal characters in arcade mode all the time, so this doesn't faze me. If anything, I'm always excited to fight against the toughest trios because it makes the victories even more triumphant. I'm a few seconds into the match and Captain Commando is already very low in health. He's a deadly character, but the fact that he's a big target and the fact that he doesn't have a very big amount of health means he can go down very easily. I kind of expected him to have more health considering he was a mascot for Capcom. And, well, he's basically the embodiment of Capcom itself. The first three letters of Captain and Commando spell Capcom, and the colors from the logo are used on him as well since his character design uses yellow and blue. He has very strong attacks though, so he's pretty much a glass cannon. Thankfully, Roll stopped Juggernaut's head crush with her buster. It's so funny that she's able to stop his deadliest attack like that. And Mega Man saves Roll from Captain Commando. I'm now up against the master of magnetism himself, Magneto. He's always been one of the strongest villains for me to fight against in this game, so let's see how well I do against him in this match. Mega Man avoids getting hit by Magneto's electromagnetic disruptor and attacks him. He hit them both, nice. Roll attacks Magneto using her B-plane once again. Mega Man attacks him in his hyper form. And my favorite Capcom villain, BB Hood, finishes off my favorite Marvel villain. As soon as Juggernaut comes in, BB Hood strikes with her cheer and fire move. Oh, BB Hood got hit by Juggernaut's head crush. Mega Man will make him pay for hurting his best friend. Even though Juggernaut is slow and a big target, his head crush single-handedly makes him a very dangerous character. So I only fight him from a distance and attack when he makes a mistake or if he doesn't have any more levels in his hyper combo gauge. BB Hood's just getting decimated by Juggernaut right now. Roll will make him pay for that too. Since BB Hood's in critical condition, I'm gonna have Mega Man as Roll's primary assist attacker. His Mega Upper is a very helpful counter against Juggernaut since, like I said, he's a very big target. Now Roll's boyfriend got massively damaged by the head crush. She would especially want to knock out Juggernaut for that. She won't allow anyone to harm her soulmate. And so, Roll defeats Juggernaut as payback for the pain he caused to her boyfriend and best friend. That's my favorite victory animation for Roll. She's so cute in a schoolgirl outfit. I'm glad I defeated that team for this video, because like I said, it's a very tough trio, but part of me knew I was gonna do it. I played the arcade mode of this game for years, so I know how to fight even the toughest characters well. Now I'm up against Spider-Man, Jill, and Morgan. It's cool that they're working together in this playthrough because they're all connected to something horror related. Spider-Man is a guy who was bit by a radioactive spider and gained spider-like abilities. Jill fights against monsters, and Morgan is a succubus. A perfect combination for sure. My favorite heroes from Capcom and Marvel are ready to duke it out. Spider-Man's fast and agile, but he's also very fragile, so it doesn't take too long for me to defeat him. In fact, a lot of the characters in this game now don't take too long for me to defeat, which is great because I used to have a very hard time beating teams without running out the timer. Once I learned the combos for my characters, it made defeating all 3 characters in a single match a lot easier. I used to play this game with unlimited time, but now I just prefer to do so with limited time. That's how it was when this game was released at the arcades after all, and it just feels more rewarding to defeat teams before the timer runs out. John and Arthur got Jill, and Baby Hood got Spider-Man. I was surprised when I found out that the Marvelous Combo term is in this game after getting 100 hits against a single character or multiple characters. In Marvel vs. Capcom 1, that term was just awarded to the player after getting 16 hits against a character. But to get that phrase in this game, the player needs to perform an extremely skillful combo. And I like that it's tougher to get the Marvelous Combo term in this game, because now whenever I get awarded that phrase, I'll feel like it did something special. I always find it funny that when the next character comes in and Mega Man does his Mega Upper, they both get damaged. But the best part about that is that the character that comes in that gets hit by the Mega Upper permanently loses a bit of their health for the match. It's great I did it against Morgan as well because she's very hard to fight against, especially when it comes to getting a KO against her before the timer runs out. She blocks almost every attack and knows exactly when to counter the player when they make a mistake. It feels like she's a psychic. But I also kind of like that Morgan is hard to beat considering she's one of the strongest characters in our home series. I decided to switch to Roll because I have an easier time beating Morgan as her, as well as the fact that Mega Man and Baby Hood, since his attacks work well against her. I'm just using what I know to take her down easily since her AI is very unpredictable. And thankfully I performed Roll's 8-hit air combo on Morgan so I could defeat her on time. It's moments like that that make me glad I practiced it. It's funny that she performed her silhouette blade when I'm on the opposite side of the screen after she blocked the attack. It was cool seeing Lilith though. She's so cute and one of my favorite Darkstalkers characters. And Roll got her revenge on Morgan for trying to steal Mega Man away from her. I need to beat Jill and Spider-Man quickly though, as I'm almost out of time. I have a chance though, as I have 3 levels of my hyper combo gauge so I can defeat the former fast enough. Right now I have 1 shot at defeating Jill with my team's hyper combos. I barely missed the grenade there, that was too close. Jill may have recovered all her health when Morgan kept me busy, but thankfully I got it all the way down in no time flat. All I must do now is take down Spider-Man. BB Hood's getting chip damage on him, and my favorite Capcom hero defeats my favorite Marvel hero. Also, as a funny side note, my favorite Capcom hero and villain wear red, and my favorite Marvel hero and villain wear red. That must mean I really like that color a lot, right? Well, yeah, that's true. Now I'm up against Hulk, Thanos, and Cammy White. It's kind of funny that I'm fighting a team that has 2 heavyweight Marvel characters. One of them is a hero and the other is a villain. It's also kind of funny that earlier in this playthrough, I defeated 2 other Marvel heavyweights that were a hero and a villain, those being Colossus and Juggernaut respectively. I like the stage that I'm fighting my opposing team on a lot. The icy version of the river stage is my favorite stage of the game. It's funny that he says that considering I have Rock in my team. And it's also funny that Rock had a weapon all the way back at his first game in the arcade games where he used rocks against his enemies called the Super Arm. Right now, the Hulk and I are playing very defensively. I don't blame him though, because my 3 characters are projectile based. Hulk was about to hit Roll there, but she was quick to attack him. It's so funny and cute seeing her fight people way bigger than her. She's an innocent and hardcore girl. I'm just going to use the Rush Drill against the Hulk, and thankfully I activated the move during its Gamma Slam. Hulk's a lot more aggressive, but Mega Man and Roll are taking care of him. Now he's tagging Thanos to attack, but because Roll activated the Rush Drill, he immediately gets hurt by it. And she gets some additional hits on him airborne, leading to the combo being an air combo. I love that the characters in this game can phase through Thanos' walls by blocking. In all honesty, Thanos is not a very hard character to fight against. He may seem like a big deal considering he's big and fast, but his moves have a lot of lag, especially his hyper combos. The reality, space, and soul gem moves all have him stand with his fists in the air while he does the attacks, and if the player dodges them, they can easily use their attacks and even their hyper combos against him. And Thanos is down already. The Mad Titan was no match for those kids. And now I just gotta defeat the most iconic Marvel heavyweight. It's incredible that I defeated the Hulk as soon as he came back in. Now I'm up against Cammy White, and she's never been a hard character for me to defeat. Her moves are easy to block against, she doesn't have that much health, and she's quite vulnerable a lot of the time. Honestly, this stage is a breather compared to the last two, especially the fourth stage. And even then, they really weren't that hard. This game in general is very easy once I learned the gameplay mechanics and how to use my characters. Even when set on the highest difficulty, it's a piece of cake. It doesn't bug me at all though, as I'm fine with playing a game I can easily beat. I mainly see video games as a difficult challenge I must overcome, but I also like playing games where I win all the time. Cammy is almost down, so it's time to use my team's hyper combos against her. And Hyper Mega Man finishes her off. KO. You win. Every time I see Mega Man do that pose, it reminds me of Mario when it gets a Power Star. That's a game I want to play someday, Super Mega Man 64. Kaico would definitely be Peach since her dream is to be a princess. Now my team is up against Sabretooth, Rogue, and Ken. It's cool that the second character on that team is able to copy abilities like the second character on my team. Even though he can't do that in this game, and neither can she. She can only use her Power Drain and Goodnight Sugar moves to gain buffs from the characters. Yes, that's what the latter move is called. In X-Men vs Street Fighter though, she does use those moves to copy the cast attacks. She was pretty much the Kirby of that game. And speaking of X-Men vs Street Fighter, it just so happens that the team I'm up against are all characters who are playable in that game, which is awesome. It's crazy that according to the game's intro, this is the fourth game in the Marvel vs Capcom series, and X-Men vs Street Fighter is the true first installment. I like to think that Akuma's role as a secret character in X-Men Children of the Atom led to the creation of X-Men vs Street Fighter and ultimately the Marvel vs Capcom series. Now, Mega Man and BB Hood will use their hyper combos against Sabretooth and Rogue. It's kind of funny how Sabretooth bounced off John and Arthur's bullets and then landed on BB Hood's. This game is very quirky. And a Mega Man and Roll finish off Sabretooth with their busters. I love doing that combo with Mega Man so much. Him using a charge shot during his air combo absolutely rocks. Rogue also lost more than half of her health, which is great because she's the toughest opponent of that team. Like I said before, instead of copying the character's abilities, she gains buffs from them. For example, absorbing Mega Man boosts her attack power, absorbing Roll boosts her defense, and absorbing BB Hood recovers her health. She also has some long-range attacks, can air dash, and even strike her opponents diagonally down from the air, so she can be tricky at times. Rogue's AI will often get very aggressive, so it's one of the reasons why I have Mega Man set as an anti-air attacker, so it pushes relentless characters like her back. The last opponent of the team, Ken, is easy for my team to take down, as many of his attacks, including his hyper combos, leave him wide open to their attacks. I would say that Sabretooth and Rogue also have aggressive attacks that easily leave them vulnerable if they miss or if my characters block them. So this has been another easy match for me. And he's almost down already. It's funny that Ken's using the Shoryurepa when Roll's piloting the Invincible Rush Drill. I did well in the first 6 stages. I only have one more regular stage left to clear. These kids are proving themselves to be an unstoppable force. They know how to fight against the greatest heroes and villains well. You win. For the last regular stage, I'm up against Omega Red, Mega Man who I'll just refer to as Copy Mega Man like the copy robot boss from Mega Man 1, and Dr. Doom. Omega Red used to be a very hard character for me to defeat, particularly because of his tentacles. But after figuring out how to dodge and counter his attacks, it thankfully became a lot easier. I find the lava version of the cave stage to be a very suitable penultimate level for 2 reasons. Spoiler alert, it'll be revealed that the final stage of the game takes place in a volcano, which connects with this version of the cave stage perfectly. And the monster face in this cave looks a lot like something that I'll be fighting against after this level. So I can pretty much say that Roll, Mega Man, and BB Hood are in the Big Bad's territory. Omega Red just got hit by BB Hood's missile, Roll's Buster Shot, and the Mega Ball. He is getting destroyed right now. He tries to use his Carbonadium Smash and misses while Mega Man makes fun of him for that. The second time Omega Red misses when trying to use the Carbonadium Smash, he ends up in Roll's air combo. That's quite funny. There's a lot of funny moments like that happen in this game, but it just happens that I'm using a funny character that makes the funny moments even funnier. And Omega Red is almost down. In hindsight, I should have ducked and used the Mega Ball instead, but I ended up defeating him anyway, so it's fine. All that matters is I still have a lot of time left to beat the other two characters. I meant to activate Hyper Mega Man there, but sadly I messed up. I'm not perfect, I make mistakes every now and then. And it looks like I'm fighting against him all the way to the left side of the stage. I thankfully have 3 levels in the Hyper Combo Gauge, so I still have a chance to get his health down quickly. It's always beneficial to have 3 levels in the Hyper Combo Gauge when all 3 characters are available to use. Copy Mega Man was about to use his Rush Draw as well, but Roll stopped him just in time. I sadly messed up the combo by having him only get hit by John and Arthur's balls and not BB-8's as well. But he's almost down though, so it's alright. I made plenty of mistakes when fighting against Copy Mega Man, but thankfully defeated him with a lot of time left and my team still has plenty of health remaining. It's cool that the last regular character my Capcom-based team is up against is a Marvel villain, which works perfectly considering the title of this game of course, and the fact that he's a bad guy. He was also originally a boss character in Marvel Superheroes for the arcades, which was another fighting game developed by Capcom that only stars Marvel characters. Except for Anita, who's from Darkstalkers. Dr. Doom was the penultimate foe before Thanos, so not only am I fighting a former boss character, but he's fulfilling his role as the second to last opponent again. And that's it. All 7 regular stages have been cleared. You win. And I'm ending things off with Roll in her schoolgirl outfit. She's so cute. My trio has defeated all their opposing teams, which includes a clone of one of them, proving themselves victorious. Now they must defeat their greatest enemy yet at the end of their adventure. It's finally time to fight against the boss of this game, Abyss. And thankfully it's very easy. It has some dangerous attacks, but once I knew how to avoid taking a lot of damage from them, it's no issue to beat it all. This is the part of the game where I can just relax and have my team defeat the big bad while being awesome and adorable. Roll, Mega Man and BB Hood are about to show Abyss what they're made of. Don't worry baby girl, you got this. She starts off with her 3-hit punch combo and Abyss tries to charge into her. The attack is a lot like Dunkernot's Head Crush, only it's a lot weaker and easier to avoid. In fact, all its moves are easy to avoid. And it's also easy to hit. This is one of its most dangerous attacks. Abyss will rain down slime or ooze on the character, and if they aren't blocking, they will take massive damage. I'm just filling up the Hyper Combo Gauge so I can have a variable combination finish against it. And now it's time for Roll, Mega Man, and BB Hood to take down Abyss's armor. It was about to use that very deadly rain combo, but thankfully I activated my team's variable combination before it could do that. The first phase of the Abyss fight is like the first stage of the game, where it's like a warm-up round. Now, the second phase takes on a more humanoid form, and this is the funniest part of the entire battle, especially as Roll. All she needs to do is duck and punch while it always misses her with its cannon. It reminds me of the first phase of the Onslaught fight from MVC1, where she can just run under his laser and attack him. If Abyss goes to the ground, it'll summon bubbles to trap the character, so all I do is go to the opposite side of the screen from where it was. It looks like Abyss is about to get knocked out. Again. And Roll finishes off the second phase with her Buster. I love how as it sinks to the ground, it starts becoming more monster-like. It's like the game's telling the player, yeah, don't celebrate just yet. And now it's time for the final phase, and by far the most intense one of them all, but it's still very easy. It'll sink to the ground like the second phase, only this time it'll summon a whole bunch of monsters to perform massive damage on the characters. Usually I start attacking Abyss from the center or the opposite direction from where it's facing. I find attacking it when it's directly facing the characters to be very risky and dangerous. Mainly because of its hyper combo that inflicts 75 or even 90% damage. Using my team's hyper combos on Abyss is so much fun. About 90% of its health is gone after that. My team is close to beating Abyss once and for all. At this point, BB Hood has battled a bunch of monsters, and Mega Man and Roll fought against Onslaught. So something like Abyss is nothing new to them. They got the victory against it in the bag. After Abyss sinks to the ground and does his attack, I'll have Roll counterattack it. And Hyper Roll lands the finishing blow at Abyss. I'm so glad I ended the boss as well as the game with Roll. She's the best. The fight against Abyss is more like a victory lap to me. It's the easiest part of the game, but it's a lot of fun regardless. In all honesty, I'm glad it's an easy boss to beat, as the hardest part of this playthrough for me was playing very well against all the opposing teams.
Thanks for playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Your name will be inscribed in the pages of fighting history.
And like the announcer said, I played through Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm happy to have beaten this game on the highest difficulty setting with my 3 favorite characters of all time. And with the timer on and the damage level set to its default setting as well. I could also say that I'm proud I did this without losing a match and without having one of my characters get knocked out, which I am happy about, but this game has always been easy for me to beat anyway, so I was never concerned about that. The real challenge for me was beating every team without running out the timer. Getting a time over doesn't mean I lost if the combined health for my team is greater than the opponent's, but I wouldn't feel like I accomplished anything. I never want to upload a playthrough of this game where I don't KO every character because I not only wouldn't feel like a true player of the game if I did, but it would also do a disservice to the characters I use for the video. I wouldn't feel like I showed them off at their best, or at least the best I can be when using them. But what I'm the happiest about is that I completed the game with Roll, Mega Man, and BB Hood, defeating the most difficult AI with the rest of the game settings being how they're set normally. So now that I mentioned my 3 favorite characters, I'll talk about why I like them so much. Starting off with the third character, BB Hood has always been one of my favorites both in this game and her home series Darkstalkers. I not only found her adorable, but I found her funny as well. I always liked fictional young girls who are evil, and when picking my team for this, I felt like it would be cute to see an evil girl like her teaming up with 2 heroic kids who are also a couple. And speaking of those 2 hero kids, I'll be talking about them in this sublog now. Seeing Mega Man and Roll win together absolutely warms my heart. I loved pairing the 2 together since Mega Man 8 where she hugged him, and I'm so happy that they're also an item in this game as well. If Mega Man doesn't have Roll as his partner, then she'll come in for one of his victory animations to give him a bouquet of flowers. It was so sweet when I saw it, and that's what makes this game perfect for me. It not only has Rock and Roll fighting alongside each other, but they also have an adorable moment together as well. And that's the best way to describe my team for this game. They're all so adorable. And funny as well. The team just makes me very happy whenever I play as them and see them come out victorious. And simply put, that's why this game is my favorite ever. It allows me to have my 3 favorite characters fight alongside each other and prove themselves as the ultimate team. So this has been my playthrough of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the highest difficulty as Roll, Mega Man, and BB Hood. I had a blast completing this game for this video, and I always have a great time playing it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.